work on koga, and what I have here are all my reference photos in this folder. I have the person's measurements right here, all their measurements. I've got reference pictures. I've got the wig picked out on Amazon. They're going to be ordering that next week. And then we have the more reference pictures. Apparently finding reference pictures for this character is very difficult for some reason. I don't know why. It took me like 2 weeks to find photos, but I found them finally. Today we're definitely going to work on koga, and I'm super excited to work on koga. But I will list all the products down below for this cosplay. But let's go ahead and get started.
So today we are making Koga's bottom armor half. We're making it out of pleather. I ended up buying 2 yards of pleather, but I am not going to be making it out of 2 yards. I've got about a half of a yard right now, but I end up using about 1.5 yards of pleather to make the bottom half a leather piece, because what we're going to do is we're going to be using this as our measurements, because her measurements are the same measurements as my cutting mat, so it makes my life a little bit easier. I will be making 7 panels in total, and with that we will be making about they're 12 inches apart each around circumference, like wide, I mean, so they're gonna be about like a 12 inches wide. So I'm using this ruler because I already have it marked in this video of what I'm doing. I'm basically winging it and going from there. I don't really use patterns very often, so when I look at something I have a design in my head and I just go with it and trial and error. But I am making this for someone and it came out amazing and they love it, so I'm excited to see them in it. But right here I am taking it to number 12 on my mat, and I have this handy dandy thing that I don't know the name of, but I bet you guys can put it in the comments. I can't remember, or I'll just add it in the video when I find out what it's called. My spouse bought it for me as a surprise, which was awesome because my other one was broken. And I just want to make sure it is going to be a little bit shorter than the bias tape that I'm making, and that's what I have. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter because I am going to make pleather bias tape. Pleather is not cheap, so if you're ever going to get pleather, I would recommend a 4-way stretch pleather or a 2-way stretch pleather. 1-way stretch pleather really sucks. They are not fun to work with, and it makes it very difficult to shape. So right here I have a, I think it's 2-way stretch. So I'm just trying to cut the nasty ends off. These ends I end up using later for some other project. I am throwing things on the floor. My floor is very clean. I do have a box down there that's catching it, so it's like, it looks like I'm just throwing stuff on the floor, but I'm not. I am going to cut this fold out. I didn't feel like unfolding it and trying to measure and stuff, but it also helped me out by just cutting it off, throwing it over there as extra strips for some other projects. So this is 2 panels that I need. I do need about, so let's say 7, take 2 away, it will be 4 more panels to go. But right here I am going to overlap them and start pinning them in place. But you have to fold it and overlap it to cause some strength. So the front panel I did a V towards the pelvis, because it opens it up more and shapes it more when you're wearing it. And same with the back. The back has a V for the ribs and the hips. I did 4 panels on the back, 3 panels in the front. The back has more support because there will be more weight back there, especially with the spine. And the sides I will not be sewing together. The sides are open because I want to make it look like it is corseted up, like laced up. You're gonna like have a lot of eyelets. So right here I'm going to sew the first front panel, and I will be using the extra strong black thread with my leather sewing needles. I do 2 straight stitches on everything, did one, and then I'll put the second one next to it, right on the seam. And it makes it look really pretty. Like, you know how jeans had that overlap being straight stitch? That's basically what I did with this. Now I'm going to work on the back panel since I have the whole front panel sewn without the bias tape, and then we'll just jump in about the bias tape. So right here, the width of the bias tape is 4 inches wide. I was struggling. It will be 19 inches long. So right here, I will be like holding it against there. I'll be basically folding it over like this. Since pleather doesn't fray, I will not need to overlap and overfold it to make it look extra neat, so those straight cut lines won't be a problem. But I think I do end up like making it look exactly like bias tape and folded on itself, which gave it extra strength to stand up by itself with more support while this person is wearing it. Alrighty, so here I made pleather bias tape, which was not easy. We're just going to leave raw edges on these pieces and just cut them off. So I made bias tape at the top for the sides to make the rings a little bit, I keep forgetting what they're called, but to make it stronger. And then down here to make it a little neater, and like I said, I'm just going to cut those straight off. Double stitch on both sides of these. And then we're going to do the back with the same thing, same method, but I'm not going to show you how to make bias tape out of the pleather because this took me an hour and a half to figure out, which was not easy. This is the top, which I can tell is because I made the front piece here in a V. So it's the top. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sew it. So it's a straight stitch twice on everything. Gives it extra support. So right here is what everything looks like all stitched up on the front panel, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the back panel off camera. And so with this front panel here, I am going to be using all of these things, and this is a very dangerous tool. You got to be careful. I did smash my finger, I cut that out, but I did fold the front panel in half, matched all the edges. I do have them pinned together to keep it in place while I'm hammering this through it to make the holes, and then I'll be putting eyelets in it and using the eyelet kit, which came with them. Those I got at Walmart because the Joann's and Hobby Lobby didn't have the size I needed, so I got that at Walmart. And I understand, I know I'm gonna hear it, I'm gonna get crap for it. This hammer is very, very old. It is one of the hammers my dad used to use, and so he gave that to me when I was 16, and that is a hammer he passed on to me, so it means a lot to me. So right here I am pushing the eyelets through, and I'm just putting them all on there, so I'm ready to put the backs on them, and I'm going to place it on the little tray. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to hammer it in. I'm going to take like 2 or 3 taps, and then I just made sure just to double check that it was in there and not damaged. And then I just tapped it a couple more times. I'm being very gentle. I'm not being rough with it at all. And I had to make sure they were all at least 4 inches apart each one. I'm probably still going to add more eyelets eventually because I don't really like the gaps in certain places, but I might not. She says she likes it, so that's all that matters. So this is what it looks like with all the eyelets on the front panel. The back panel already has them. I just didn't get to pin that onto the dress form. I shrunk this down. This was fun to resew. But I did it! Woohoo! Yippee! And now I gotta make your shoulder pieces, and then I have to cut all the fur and get that ready, and make your hand pieces, your leg pieces, and your hip piece, and we'll do the headband. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked what you've watched so far. This will be a multiple series part. On my channel, I'll make a playlist for you guys so you can find all of it and see the results and stuff and how to make everything. But I will be doing it in multiple parts, because if I made one long video, it'd be about 2 hours long, and I don't think you guys want to sit there for 2 hours watching me make a whole costume. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them below. Leave a like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys around. Bye, guys!